With breaking news, Brittney Griner has been free. She was arrested and incarcerated in Russia while playing basketball with one of these, a vape pen, and it comes with a prisoner swap. Miggy and I are going to take a deep dive into this today on a special contemporaneous episode of Cannabis Legalization News, where we explain the marijuana laws so that you can change them. If you have something that is a question or pressing, please hit it down there in the comments. You're also going to be able to find a link to the news article that we're going to be going over about how Brittney Griner's been freed. And now let's bring on Miggy and talk about this. Yo, dude, how's it going?
Free all the Brittneys.
Free all the Brittneys, which is pretty good. We also have Biden's speech that we're going to be going over for you as well. So stick around. We're gonna dig into it. We're gonna talk about who was released and the other guy. I mean, the person that they actually released sounds like he'll be dead pretty soon. But anyway, let's dig into it. WNBA star Brittney Griner released from Russian custody in a high-profile prisoner swap between the United States and Moscow.
For everybody that's butthurt about her getting home and all this being done and because she's a basketball player, F off, F you for whatever. Her case actually brought attention, right? I would have known about the teacher who got busted with a quarter pound, right?
Whoa.
People talk about her bringing a vape pen and they say, oh, well, you fuck around, you find out. Well, F that.
Yeah, that's victim blaming. Let me victim blame some people for a minute. That rule that shouldn't be a rule? Well, it's your fault that you broke it. But let's see. She has been freed. However, Paul Whelan, an American corporate security executive, has not been freed. He remains in jail. We have quotes from Biden that we're going to go over here in a moment. But Paul Whelan is still in custody abroad. And here's President Biden stuff. You want to load up Biden stuff and see what he had to say on it, and then we'll talk about who was the swap for. So let's listen to Biden and then talk about who the swap was for.
Standing together with her wife Sherelle in the Oval Office, I spoke with Brittney Griner. She's safe. She's on a plane. She's on her way home. After months of being unjustly
detained, that's the important part. She's already on the way home.
Under intolerable circumstances. Brittney will soon be back in the arms of her loved ones, and she should have been there all along. Mm-hmm. This is a day we've worked toward for a long time. We never stopped pushing for her release. It took painstaking and intense negotiations, and I want to thank all the hardworking public servants across my administration who worked tirelessly to secure her release. I also want to thank the UAE for helping us facilitate Brittney's return, because that's where she landed.
Damn.
These past few months have been hell for Brittney and for Charlie and her entire family and all her teammates back home. People all across the country have learned about Brittney's story, advocated for her release, stood with her throughout this terrible ordeal. And I know that support meant a lot to her family. I'm glad to be able to say that Brittney's in good spirits. She's relieved to finally be heading home. And the fact remains that she's lost months of her life, experienced the needless trauma, and she deserves space, privacy, and time with her loved ones to recover and heal from her time being wrongfully detained. Brittney is an incomparable athlete, a two-time Olympic gold medalist for Team USA. She endured mistreatment and a show trial in Russia with characteristic grit and incredible dignity. She represents the best about America. It is across the board, everything about her. She wrote to me back in July. She didn't ask for special treatment, even though we've been working on a release from the day one. She requested a simple quote, "Please don't forget about me and the other American detainees. Please do all you can to bring us home." We never forgot about Brittney. We've not forgotten about Paul Whelan, who's been unjustly detained in Russia for years.
I'm going to improve the picture a little bit.
Not a choice of which American to bring home.
Just a little bit of an improvement right there. Hey, thumbs up if you like that improvement, if you're tuning in. And if you are joining us, don't forget to subscribe. On Sunday, we have a really big show.
And while we have not yet succeeded in securing Paul's release, we are not giving up.
People are mad about the exchange, like
touch with Paul's family,
the person, but we're a country of killers. Like
with them today. They have to have such mixed emotions today.
So We saved a
And we'll
basketball
keep
star. We
negotiating
saved
good faith
a
with Paul's
woman
release. I guarantee
that
I say
hasn't
that
hurt
to your
anybody.
family. I guarantee you. And I
It
urge
was used as a political
Russia
pawn.
to ensure that Paul's health and humane treatment maintained until we are able to bring him home. I don't want any American to sit wrongfully detained and one extra day if we can bring that person
And the fact
home.
that he's doing this
Our
for
administration has
a
now
cannabis
brought home
case,
dozens of Americans who are wrongfully detained,
along with
or
the other
held hostage
dictates.
abroad, many of whom had been held.
Well, it's consistent with his releasing the low, the pot prisoners at the federal level that were just there for simple possession. And so this was a case of simple possession, very small case of simple possession. In some instances in the United States, it would be completely legal because it was a hemp vape.
Even in an illegal state, it would have been just a ticket or a moment of detention. Not
in an illegal state, it would have been something you can contest if you have a good criminal lawyer that would say, no, this is legal. You're not allowed to prosecute this person.
Precautions, including reviewing the State Department's travel advisories before they travel overseas, which now includes warnings about the risk of being wrongfully detained by a foreign government. Make no mistake about it, this work is not easy. Negotiations are always difficult. There are never any guarantees. But it's my job as President of the United States to make the hard calls and protect American citizens everywhere in the world, anywhere in the world. And I'm proud that today we had made one more family whole again. So welcome home.
But isn't that what it's about?
And now I'd like to
the whole
invite Sherelle to say a few words.
Justice.
Of course, she's not excited at all.
Liberty and
Sherelle, it's
all the shit that we.
Congratulations.
And this is Brittney Griner's wife, Sherelle.
Yep.
So over the last 9 months, y'all have been so privy to one of the darkest moments of my life. And so today I'm just standing here overwhelmed with emotions, but the most important emotion that I have right now is just sincere gratitude for President Biden and his entire administration. He just mentioned this work is not easy, and it has not been. There's been so many hands involved. And so I'd like to take a moment to just specifically mention a few. Vice President Harris, Secretary Blinken, Jake Sullivan, Josh Geltzer from the National Security Council, Roger Cartson and Fletcher, Schoen from the Hostage Envoy's Office. A special thank you to Governor Richardson and Mickey, the Mercury Players, the WNBA, PA for your advocacy. And also, you guys may not know this, but my family has been tremendously supported by the Wasserman Agency. BG's agent, Lindsay Colas, has just been amazing for me and my family throughout this process. So today my family is whole, but as you all are aware, there's so many other families who are not whole. And so BG's not here to say this, but I will gladly speak on her behalf and say that BG and I will remain committed to the work of getting every American home, including Paul, whose family is in our hearts today as we celebrate BG being home. We do understand that there are still people out here.
You're not shying away from that one.
What I endured the last 9 months of missing tremendously their loved ones. So thank you everybody for your support. And today it's just a happy day for me and my family. So I'm gonna smile right now.
Right on. You know what I was worried about?
What's that? All right. Well, I think that's
that.
Yeah.
So I was worried. So like because of that speech, you know that she's safe and somewhat healthy because obviously prison is prison, and especially in Russia. That the thing that happened with when Trump brought that kid back from North Korea, he was brain dead, I think. So I had that concern, but it seems to be this is a positive thing. This is what we stand for, right?
Right. But let's talk about the hypocrisy. And then this is the prison where she has now been freed from, and she's back and safe. But this is the person
camp, right?
That was, it's a Russian prison. It's an entrance to Russian penal colony IK2 on November 19th, 2022, which of course is the dead of winter already in Russia. However, this is the merchant of death that was going to be released. And so this is a person named Bout. His full name is Viktor Bout. And this is a picture of him in a detention center in Bangkok in 2008. This man evidently has dirt pretty much on everyone. And so if he is let go, the oligarchs may well, he might eat something that has polonium in it.
Gotcha.
And he's sold a lot of arms all over the country. And so not just, and by country, I mean world. I apologize for that.
So he's probably
Yeah.
been being used as an American asset, as far as like been living in a nice little spot, being fed, comfortably protected, right? And then they're like, all right, you're on your own, buddy. You know, which
Pretty
is
much.
I'm fine. I'm fine with that.
You're on your own, buddy. And then what happens now is she gets to come home and be free. And then they've pardoned all these low-level offenses. But what about the hypocrisy of that? You know, like, why is it? And then the federal tune in on Sunday. We're going to talk about the Safe Banking Act's final few weeks of this Congress before it needs to be reintroduced again.
You know,
it's going to be interesting.
Something to point out, dude, is the judicial system is not speedy, right? We say the right to a speedy trial, but how often do people get buried in lawsuits because of paperwork, right? One side has more money than the other side, so it knows how to manipulate the system.
Well,
you know, this
by manipulate the system, you mean throw $100,000 at some lawyers to like draft a whole bunch of stuff and like delay that trial for 10 years. Sure.
Exactly. So something like that. And so, you know, people want to get mad about like the infrastructure of our way, as far as like, you know, well, why can't they just sweep it with a pen? Well, he tried. He already, it's already been, the gauntlet's been thrown, right? And how many people have how many governors have stepped up when Biden said due to you know, the pardons?
The student, think about the student loans as well. And so like if Biden tried to free them through an executive action after getting the data back from his 3-point plan, the third point being commission the FDA and HHS to work together to determine what the appropriate scheduling of cannabis is. And if they come back and they go, 3, 5, 0, you know, just get rid of it. And then he says, okay, we will do that by executive action. Will Texas file a lawsuit and say like, no, you're not allowed to do that? Just like he did with the student loans. Hey, I'm going to forgive these student loans. Governors filed suit. And like, so states, and that stuff's been sticky and it still hasn't gone through. And so that would be weird considering how like popular cannabis is. But we do have some good news to end on after calling out the hypocrisy, saying it was a trade for an arms dealer. And then she gets to be free while everybody else gets to still be in jail. Good news out of Missouri today. This is December 8th. This is the day that Missouri has effectively legalized cannabis. It is the effective date of the bill, the constitutional amendment that they passed last month in that election. We're going to go over some of the history of Missouri, as it was one of the first states in the nation, if not the first state in the nation, to ban cannabis. Find out when this Sunday on Cannabis Legalization News.
We should smoke one from Missouri.
Okay, we should smoke one from Missouri, but spoiler alert, I am moving next week, and so I have to go pack boxes and secure the movers for Wednesday. I'm out on Saturday because I have to go to the ISBA's meeting for, it's the mid-year meeting, the first one in 3 years because of COVID. And so I'm really stoked to see the Cannabis Law Section Council and Legal Technology.
Neat. You ready for, you got a little smoky smoke?
Hey, why don't we hit it? Well, we can hit it on exit on a 420 somewhere, which is fine. It's a pretty decent bumper. But then what we're going to do is we're going to tell you, hey, if you guys really have nothing else to do, you should stick around and watch the next video because it's the right one for you to keep you on the platform. I think it's going to be down there. Click, 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 click.